afternoon. Let's get into it. We're going to start with our math homework for this week, which is also our test review for next Tuesday's place value test. Let's go ahead and start by putting our name. I'm Miss Ambrose. I'm number 0, but you are not, so put your classroom number, and then today's date is 9/8/25. Okay, so it looks like the number that we have here is 3,468. It says write the number in expanded form. Well, remember, expanded form is expanding the number using each digit's value. So we can start by putting our thousands. I have 3 thousands. Well, the value of this 3 is literally 3,000 plus the value of this 4 is 400 plus the value of 6 is 60. 6 tens means 60. Plus the value of 8 ones is just 8. Well, if I move into number 2, it says write the number in expanded notation. Expanded notation is a little bit different than expanded form. We're not going to use the value of each digit. We're going to say how many groups of that place value there are. And I'm going to show you what that means. Start with your parentheses. And I'm going to start in the 3,000s place. Well, I can see that there's 3, and the multiplication sign means groups of. 3 groups of thousands. Plus, let's move to our hundreds. Plus 4 groups of hundreds. Plus, let's go to our tens. Plus 6 groups of tens. And then lastly, our ones. Plus 8 groups of 1. So there is a very significant difference between expanded form and expanded notation. Expanded form just uses the values of each digit in the place value number. But expanded notation shows groups of, how many groups of each place value there are. All right, number 3, round 3,468 to the nearest 10. Oh, we just did a homework on rounding and it says nearest 10. So I'm going to look for the tens place. So to round this score, I must look before. That 8 is 5 or more, so it's going to help us raise that score. He's going to help us raise that up. So it will be 3,400. Oh, but that 6 gets raised up to a 7, and the 8 already helped me, so I can make him a 0. The nearest 10 is 3,470. All right, let's do number 4. It says round 3,468 to the closest 100. Oh, it tells me closest 100, so I need to find the hundreds place. To round this score, I must look before. 4 or less, we let it rest. But 5 or more, we raise that score. This is 5 or more. I know because 6 is more than 5. It's going to raise that score. So the closest 100 will be 3,000. Oh, but that 4 gets raised up to a 5. That 6, I already used him, so I'm just going to make him a 0. And the 8 We don't need that friend, so we're just going to make him a 0 too. The closest hundred is 3,500. All right, number 5. Round 3,468 to the nearest thousand. Oh, it says nearest thousand, so I need to find the thousands place. To round this score, I must look before. All right. Well, 4 or less, we let it rest. But 5 or more, we raise that score. This is 4. So I'm just going to let him rest. I'm not even going to touch that 3. The 3 is going to stay the same because we're letting him rest. The 4, he already helped me, so I'm going to make him a 0. And the 6 and the 8, I don't need them. I'm going to make them zeros also. The nearest thousand is 3,000. Okay. Order the numbers from greatest to least on the lines below. Greatest means biggest, and least means smallest. So I need to go from big to small. The way that I like to start is by looking at my thousands place first. I can see that this has 3,000, 12,000, 103,000, and 6,000. Well, I can already tell just by looking at those thousands numbers that 3,000 is smaller than 6,000, 12,000, and 103,000. So he probably needs to be my last one. I'm going to put 3,468 in the last spot because I can already tell that 3,468 is smaller than 12,000 number, 103,000 number, and then our 6,000 number. Well, how do I figure out what goes next or where each of these goes? Well, if I think about 12, 103, and 6, which one would be the next smallest? Well, I know 6 is smaller than 12, and 12 is smaller than 103. So I'm going to say 6,477. And then it would be, I already used this friend and that one, 12,000 or 103,000. Well, I like to think about it as money. Would I rather have $12,000 or $103,000? I'm taking 103 because I know that's the biggest number. So my greatest is going to be 103. 12,812 would be the next smallest, and our biggest would be 103,710. Okay. This says compare the two numbers using greater than, less than, or equal. Well, when you were in second grade, you learned of greater than, less than, or equal to as like the little alligators. And when we see the greater than, less than signs, we know which direction they go because the alligator wants to eat the biggest number. So if I have this symbol right here, the alligator is going to take the biggest number on this side because his mouth is open to the biggest number. If it helps you remember, then draw the little teeth. But in third grade, we don't call them the little alligators because we're big kids upstairs now. We're not going to call them that. We need to call it greater than, less than, or equal to. That's how I'm going to be talking about it in our video. Okay, and you can remember with the teeth if it really does help you, but let's try to use the proper vocabulary for third grade. Greater than, less than, equal to. Okay, let's start with our first comparison here. In this circle, you're going to put the symbol that correctly shows which number is bigger or smaller. This one says 521,043, and this one is 521,034. Let's start in our ones place. I see a 4 here, and I see a 3. Those are different. I know 4 is bigger than 3, but I need to check the rest of my place values. Look at this 10. This 10 is a 3, and this 10 is a 4. Well, what is more, 43 or 34? 43 is bigger. I can see that this 0 is the same, this 1 is the same, the 2 is the same, the 5 is the same. So I need to focus on this part of the number. What's bigger, 43 or 34? 43. So I need to say 521,043 is greater than 521,034. Okay, let's go to these right here. I have 23,564 and 23,574. My 23,000 is the same, so I'm not going to worry about that. I see my 500 is the same. Oh, but this is different right here. I have 64 and 74 right here. Well, what's bigger, 64 or 74? 74. So 23,564 is less than 23,574. Let's look at the next number. 676,567. 766,567. I can see my ones are the same, my tens are the same, and my hundreds are the same. But hold on, this says 766 and this says 676. Well, do I want $600 or do I want